All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Awaken Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. If you're new to me, new to my channel, new to my show on YouTube, please do subscribe so you can take advantage of all the current shows, all the previous shows, all the shows coming up. And it is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring to you these wonderful, amazing speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their processes, their mini readings, their healings, activations, etc., so that we can all thrive and so that we can all awaken to happiness now. And so today, my dear friend Natasa Stojanovic is back with us. And we're going to be talking about home to you, reclaim your power, energy, and flow in times of great change. Some of what we're going to discuss is why you may be feeling drained, stuck, or disconnected from your guidance. We're going to receive an important message from the whales for all wayshowers. Simple steps to create more grace and ease during these intense times. Yeah, we should have had this last week. The missing key to reconnecting to your intuition, energy, sovereignty, and flow, and the direct doorway to a higher perspective. All that and more, of course. And Natasha will be taking live caller questions. And so, for those of you who may not know Natasha, she's been with us many times. I love having her on the show. I love receiving information, wisdom, and transmissions and activations from the whales and dolphins. Always high vibe. So Natasha is a channel of the ocean light. She's a whale retreat leader, frequency healer, speaker, mentor, and mother. Deeply connected to her ancient heritage of galactic ocean consciousness, Natasha is masterful at transmitting divine frequencies of ocean light, whales, and dolphins to help leaders, lightworkers, and wayshowers transcend their experience of limitation and truly live as the light that they are, while being grounded in this physical expression of reality. So, everyone, please join me in welcoming Natasha back to the show. Natasha, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure. And isn't it interesting that I just thought about it, like the last 3 times, I think it was some kind of astrological happening when we were meeting. It was on the equinox. Another time, I think it was a full moon or something. And this time we're
True.
like between 2 eclipses and close to the equinox. So it's really
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I think you were originally scheduled last week, right? So, I think.
No, 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 no.
No,
I don't think
no,
so.
you were
No.
always scheduled at this time. Okay,
Hmm.
well, maybe you should have been here last week because then we would have received the wisdom so that I would have been more grounded and more present and more aware of what's happening. But it's all good. It's all perfect. It's all divine timing. Everything always happens as it should. So, we are going through times of great change, absolutely, and I think that is going to be a constant from now on. But reclaiming our power, our energy, and flow, I think is key to us being able to create and move forward at this time, right?
Yes, it is. And not only to create and move forward, which is really important to us and for the world, it's also that our bodies are, they're really recalibrating to this. So we sometimes forget that. And we are in this time of really great change. There's a lot of, we know that solar activity, there's the astrological happenings, the cosmic energy. We're flying through that photon belt as we're moving through the galaxy, right? And so much light is flooding in, and it's doing something with the earth, with us. The earth is awakening and shifting. And so what we often forget is that our bodies need to adapt as well to that. It's new, and we are energy. Everything is vibration and energy. And so our bodies also have their energy systems, energy pathways, energy structures, and they need to adapt. And so I do strongly believe that our DNAs are being activated to hold more light, to be a higher expression of who we are, to come back to our true potential, our full potential. And that takes time. And so, yes, it is. And it's an ongoing process. I'd love to tell you all, hey, this is just a few months and then we're through. I don't believe so. But it definitely feels like 2025 is an important year. And it's the
I agree.
transition year. It's going to be still moving and happening, but it's really very intense right now. So it's double important to take really good care of ourselves.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I always say this too, how, we are processing so much, we're receiving so much light and so much energy and so many frequencies, and it does take time for our bodies to adapt. So sometimes there's a gap between what our body is experiencing and what we're experiencing at the energetic level, right? And so that's why sometimes we may be a little bit not in sync, right? So it happens all the time. It's quite normal. Um, and so it's important for us to remember that. So when we are experiencing things on the physical, especially, and we're like, like, I don't understand why I'm receiving all these light codes. I'm doing so much inner work. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's like, I don't understand why my body is not, because it just takes longer, like you said, for it to catch up. But it does, and it will. So at this time, because of the intense energies going on and everything, we may be feeling drained. We may be feeling stuck. We may be disconnected from our guidance. And this happens. I find this is happens all the time, or like it's maybe cyclical, or just like every time we're going through an upgrade, we come into this period of, my guides are not talking to me. I'm like, nothing is moving. Everything is like, nothing's happening. What's going on, right? But it's just a process again that we're moving through as the body field adapts to the energy and the energetics of the time that we're in, right?
Yes, they do. And in addition to that, it's also, as you're saying, in that cyclical nature, whatever's not aligned is coming up. And so there's these two parts. One, it's maybe not divine timing yet. Maybe our bodies are still catching up. We need to give it time to surrender. On the other hand, everything, all the patterns, all the beliefs, all the wounding that we're still holding on to that are not aligned with where we're going are coming up to be healed, to be released, to be looked at. And so this time right now, I feel is very intense, and it's really inviting us into really getting more clear about what is it that my soul really wants to express through me? What is it that I truly want? What are my real values? Reevaluating. What is it that I value? And am I taking the steps in that direction? Am I living in a way that reflects where I'm going and who I'm becoming?
Mm-hmm.
And I find that is a process that when I speak to wayshowers, I hear mainly two things. One is very tired and exhausted. And the other thing is really like confused. I don't know anymore if that's really my purpose. I don't know anymore if that's the way I want to live. Maybe it's not the country for me. All of these questions are coming up now. And so if you're having that, know that you're not alone. It's absolutely, you're fully in fashion. You're like fully in time with that. It's absolutely part of what we're going through, because I imagine it like this. There's new earth that we're developing into. We're here to hold and anchor in that light. And everything that's not aligned with how we wish to live in that new earth needs to be released. And it's not only outside of us, what we see in the world, it's happening within us. So I've been going personally through a deep time of inner healing over the last 2.5 months, because things just do show up. And the art, I find, is not getting caught in, oh, I need to heal another thing, and maybe there's another thing to fix and solve, but to be in our high vision, holding that vision, and then as things come up, to be aware, to be present, and to tackle them. To go, okay, that came up. Okay, so there's something to look at for me. And then start releasing those patterns. Either you have your own ways of how you're doing this, or you can get help to do that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like twofold this time, I find. It's like the one is what comes from the outside, and we're highly sensitive. We're becoming more sensitive, more empathic. And the other part is what's coming out within us. And so what I find really important is the surrender part. I have found that everything shifts, whether you're tired, whether you're drained, whether you're confused, whether you feel like I don't have that guidance. Step number one is surrender. And when I say surrender, I don't mean giving up. It's the contrary. You're accepting what is. right here, right now. And sometimes we forget that. I know you all know. But for me, it's sometimes important to get that reminder, like, hey, are you fighting what is?
Hello?
Or are
Hello?
you...
Yeah.
Hello? Are you fighting
Yeah,
what is? Or are you accepting what is? Exactly.
exactly.
And when we accept, then things can just start moving from that space. Yeah.
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 And that's the thing. I think we all need a reminder from time to time about going into acceptance of what is, because only when you can accept what is can you then change it. Because if you're not even accepting it, you're resisting it, and so there's no change possible in that way. And yeah, I totally agree. Oh my goodness, we're definitely on the same page with that for sure. And sometimes we don't like the divine timing piece. I know I don't, because I'm a very impatient type of person. Um, but again, it always comes down to, because in my experience, um, I have seen where when it's divine timing, everything is so magical and it just flows and everything is great. When I'm trying to force something, there's obstacle after obstacle, nothing works. It's like I know about divine timing, and it's like, yeah, it's real, it's a thing, right? So sometimes we just have to tell ourselves, all right, let's just work on this impatience piece within me, you know, and just come back to acceptance and trust in the process.
Mhm. I'm just reading a comment. Sorry that my microphone is much lower than yours. Can you hear me better now? Is that... Wait a second. I'll try this. I don't know what's going on. It's new
It,
that
it's
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 not...
fine.
Can
I
you hear
just
me
increased
fine?
my speaker sound, so it was
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Good.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
not to worry. It's
Yes.
not always
Thank...
easy to surrender. It's hardly ever easy to surrender because we are control freaks, right? Trying to control our lives and everything else around us. So for sure, um, surrendering for me, anyways. I don't know about you all, but for me, surrendering is not something I'm comfortable with. But when I do, it brings so much ease and so much peace. So that there is that for sure. So so Natasha, do the whales and dolphins have a message for us around this piece, especially around the surrender piece?
Oh yes, they do. They do have a big message, and they came in for the first time, like almost like with this urgent energy. I've never seen them like that. So usually the whales, they come in with this, the heart opening, talking about heart power, and that's still all there. However, this time I just asked them, related to what we're doing today, like, is there anything you'd like to share? And they came in so powerfully, and it's like, when whales tail slap and
Mhm.
dolphins, it is not that they're waving at you, they're actually either in distress or they're warning you, or they're young or whatever. So it's and they came in tail slapping. Now that doesn't mean that they're warning us in terms of something will happen. They don't do that. They would never do that. But the warning is for us within, and they're saying, you wayshowers and light workers have to be careful that you don't fall asleep again through the distraction hypnosis that's going on right now. And they were
Mm.
speaking in particular to the distraction that I believe, like whoever I talk to, they confirm, yeah, that's what's going on for me. That scatteredness. And they were specifically also talking about social media, YouTube, like all of that. And they were saying, for you, this is where you feel like you're finding your soul tribe, because we don't dive into mainstream media anymore. We're going like, well, how do I find my truth? And then we enjoy these inspiring podcasts and whatever, right, series that we watch and listen to, or we connect with people on Facebook and Instagram and wherever not. But they're saying, look at how distracted you became with that, and be careful that you come back to home, to you, to your true self, to your truth, and to what you really want. Because spending too much time, and they're not saying to never ever watch something, but they're really very clear And what they're saying, like, be careful you don't fall into this mass hypnosis of being distracted through, because you have so much inspiring information that you can connect to, but your wisdom is within, and your mission is within, and your knowing is within. And if you distract too much, if you're too much out there, you're going to fall back asleep, because that's where people want to, the people in control, the beings in control want to have you. They want to have you out there because you're not doing your mission. You're not anchoring your light in that moment. You are not following your calling. You're not tuning in with your heart. You're distracting. So how can we, like, you know, they didn't say nothing, but what I would suggest, and what I'm trying to translate into my own life is, first I do my own work. And if I feel like, okay, now I really feel like watching something inspirational, what is it exactly what I want? And be extra careful that I watch what I want to watch or listen to and nothing else. And then, can I implement that? Can I translate that in my own life? Do I use it? Because, you know, we can binge watch that stuff. But are we really translating it? Are we really implementing it into our lives? Are we doing something with it? Are we bringing more light into our own lives and into the world with it? And if not, then I suggest to not watch, to not listen, but to come back home to you and to your presence and to what your heart is calling into. And what I suggest, what everybody can do to implement that right now, if you want, if you feel that resonates with you, if you find yourself in that distraction, and it doesn't always have to be, you know, social media. It was an example, but it's a strong one right now. It's a very important one. The way I wanted to bring to our attention is make a list every day. How much time did I spend on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube? And what from this was really needed? Some of us work, but did I really do what I wanted for work, or did I get stuck another half an hour? And what did I implement from that? What did I take from my life from that? And keep a list, maybe for a week, every single day, and then calculate that time and see, do I really want to spend that time there? Or are there things that I wanted to do and I didn't do? I said, for instance, I'll connect with my higher self. Or did I say, I will connect with a good friend? And I didn't do it, but I spent like 4 hours watching inspirational podcasts, right? So that's an idea of how we can implement that right now. But they were really, really very clear with, be aware that you don't fall into that hypnosis, and that you follow your heart and your calling and your knowing, and reconnect with the earth, with nature, with yourself. That was a very, very strong message. Yes.
Love that. And it's so true. It's very easy for us to get distracted, right, in the world. And so it is a reminder for us to always take some time to come back home to yourself every day if you can. 10 minutes, right? And so yeah, that's key because there's a lot of distractions out there, a lot. So what are some simple steps that we can create more grace and ease in our lives at this time?
Yeah. So you've heard that before for sure. I'm sure many speakers have said that, and I'm gonna double down on that. Take your spiritual practice, make it consistent. Do not let it go. It is something that is so simple to do. And many of us have started being a little bit loose, and then more loose, and then in the end not do much at all. But when I say spiritual practice, I mean everything that brings you back to your heart, that brings you back to a higher vibration, that helps you just really focus on what you wish, what frequency you want to experience through that day, just really your spiritual practices. Number 2, related to that, your self-care is a non-negotiable. It's an absolutely non-negotiable. The energies are so intense. And if we don't take the time that we need to feel good and not judge ourselves for feeling, oh my gosh, I'm the only one who needs, 2 hours a day to feel good. It doesn't matter. You are you. And you take all the self-care that you can and that is possible. So these two are very, very important and easy to do, right? We all have these practices. If you don't, go and learn them. And the third step that I would like to share is, and I will, if it's okay for you, I can share a little exercise with that, is really learn, if you don't know how, to get back to presence immediately, and learn how to release stress. And that's not the same. So when we come back to presence, we are here and now in the moment, in our body. What creates stress? Usually worry, for instance, is thinking of the future. You're not here and now, you're in the future. What could happen? Or what has happened already? You're in the past. But if you're in the here and now, right now, you're sitting here listening to this, and there's nothing else. You're breathing in and out. There is nothing is happening. But that's one way. And we could do, maybe I'll show you both. I'll show you a little presence exercise, just very, very quick one. You can drop back into presence wherever you are. Wherever you are, if you can close your eyes. Otherwise, maybe pull over with your car. If you're driving, don't do it while driving, of course, or anything else like that. So the disclaimer being said, it's the breath. For me, there's many ways to come back, but the breath is something that just brings us back. So what you can do right here, right now, is just observe for a moment how you are breathing. Just close your eyes and just, without changing anything, just notice, are you breathing shallow or deep? Where can you feel the air coming in? Where do you not feel the air coming in and going out? Are you breathing relaxed or not? And then allow for the breath to guide you. Maybe you just have felt just now that you have this feeling you want to breathe in deeply, so do that. Allow yourself to sigh, releasing everything you don't need right now. And then take 3 deep cleansing breaths into your belly. So as if breathing all the way down into your belly, filling the lower rib cage and the middle rib cage, and then only the upper rib cage. And releasing through your mouth. And as you're releasing, just release your neck and your shoulders. And take 2 more. And feel the breath going into your lungs. And feel it exiting your body. And just 1 more, breathing in a lot of love. And breathing everything out you don't need right now. And now just get aware of how present you are. What has shifted? So that is really an easy, simple, and it's calming you down even. It's energizing a little bit. It's a very simple practice of coming back to the present moment, to the here and now, and to your body, into your body. And yes, feel free to share in the comments if you feel a difference, if you're more present, if it's helpful for you. Now, there is a difference between just being present and releasing stressors. When we get present, we're okay in the moment. But what can happen, doesn't have to, what can happen is that what has stressed us before, the moment we think of it, we're feeling stressed again, right? So let's say you had an unfriendly encounter and you're still a little bit upset about it. Okay, you come back to presence. That's okay. You're back here. You go on with your day. And then somebody reminds you of the supermarket where this happened. And you're like, yeah. And then you come back into that story and you feel stressed again. So the third thing you can do when we talk about easy, simple steps to have things be with more ease and grace is to learn techniques to truly release stress in the moment, or just afterwards when something happens, or before you go somewhere where you feel stressed about. Okay. Now, of course, here we can't take like huge things, like you're going maybe through a divorce or you're grieving something big or whatever that is. But I can show you a little exercise where you can just literally release stress Let's say something that's not complex, something small, and we can all think of something if you want right now. Think of something that causes you a little bit of stress. On a scale from 0 to 10, that maybe 0 is nothing, no stress at all, totally stress-free, totally relaxed. 10 is absolute the highest stress you can imagine, something around the 3 or a 4. That could be something, like I said, an unfriendly encounter with someone you don't even know. It can be that you're up for a podcast interview and you're feeling a little bit nervous about it. It can be that you want to start charging for your price for your healing work, and you're feeling a bit, this upset and nervousness about a little bit of fear of doing that, but it's just a bit of anxiety, nothing big. It can be something like that. Don't take complex things. Complex things are trauma and everything related to relationships. Okay, that's usually complex, so don't take that, please. It can be falling down the stairs. It can be falling down the stairs, right? Just as an example, because you shared that before you hopped on the call, or any small accident that you have. So if you all have that, just scale it from 0 to 10. If you want to share in the chat what your number is. And it's usually the first number that comes to mind. Okay, so now that you have your number, what we'll do is we will just connect with that stressor. So in this example, the situation where somebody was rude. Okay, I'll take off my glasses so I can do that better and show you better. And when we connect with that, we will have one hand here on our forehead, covering our eyes a little bit. So it's very similar to ESR. It's just that the hand goes a little bit deeper for those of you who know ESR, emotional stress release. And the system is the same. And the other hand is in the back of your skull. So like that, we're combining meridians. These are left and right of the eye is where all meridians from your body enter the brain. The vision center of the brain, our third eye, and the neurovascular stress points. So we're connecting to all of that. Just holding your hands lightly. And now you're thinking just of that thing without diving into the story, just being present with the thing that you had. If it's an image, be present with an image. If it's a voice, just be present with the voice, nothing else. And breathe. If it's a sensation in your body, be present with the sensation. And just holding your hands lightly, being present with the stressor. Until it starts to shift. So you might either not be able to connect with it anymore, or it might shift into something else, like a new layer coming up. Or your mind might just wander away to something else. And take a deep breath in. And whenever you feel that you can't connect anymore, that things are changing, shifting, that maybe something else is coming up, you can take down your hands. Exactly. So that is a very simple, I teach many of these tools. I've been teaching it for years, and I started teaching them again because they're so beautiful, so simple. And of course, there's things for deeper stuff, but this is a simple way. So it's really learn how to release stress. And I'm really curious to hear how it went for you, Shefali, and if anyone else wants to put it in the chat.
I loved it. I thought, oh my goodness, this is so easy and so quick. And I tuned in, of course, to the falling and stuff. And then as I was focusing on my breath a little bit, I just felt like it just felt like it just evaporated, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It just evaporated, and I just and then I tuned into my body some more, and where I had felt even a little bit of discomfort discomfort when I first like sat down for the call, I noticed that that discomfort was now gone, you know? So that, that was the final piece of the being hurt kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
that was so quick. So I'm definitely going to be doing that one again, and it doesn't have to be for physical things. Obviously, it could be anything.
No, anything,
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Oh, so
yeah. That was great.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Very,
welcome.
very
So,
very easy and quick.
yeah, very easy and quick. And for some of you, something else you might feel like, well, I'm still stressed, but maybe it's first you thought about how rude this person was, and that was a stressor. And then it started shifting into, well, actually, I remember I saw them yesterday on the beach as well, and there they did this and this, or something like that. I'm just inventing something now, right? So it's a new layer that might come up. So when you do that on your own, you can stay with that new layer. And some things do need something else, and some things are shifting so easily. So start using that
Yeah,
if you feel it resonates.
I love it. So easy and quick and simple. You know.
Mm, mm,
So yeah, thank you. That's a great tool. I'm definitely going to be doing it again because we all have all sorts of different stressors in our lives, right? So
yeah.
it's just to remember to use the tools
Yes.
instead
Yeah.
of going into reaction, etc. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
great.
is to
Thank you.
remember. And if
Hmm.
I may add, it is also that sometimes on a deep level, we have conflicting beliefs that we can call self-sabotage, where we do not use them, right? So we all
Yeah,
know that, okay, I'm gonna go and move my body 5 times a week, and then I start for the first week, and the second week is 3 times, and the fourth week it's 2 times, and then I don't do anything. So it's these, and so sometimes it's also that. So we need to go a level deeper to release these subconscious doubts and beliefs, and also the worthiness that we're worthy of receiving it all and having it all and thriving. And yeah, as you say, remember to use them. Yeah.
yeah. Linda said that felt awesome and almost put me to sleep. Yes, thank you for that,
Mm,
Linda, because it's true. Because I felt so relaxed as well that um yeah, I felt really relaxed after the end of it. So thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So Natasha, of course, we have people with their hands raised, but I just want to get through these, two other points that we want to talk about. What is, in your opinion, the missing key to reconnecting to our intuition, our energy, our sovereignty, and our flow? Um, I'm
Yeah.
going to say it's about being present, obviously making the choice and taking the time to do it. But um, what is that
we
missing key?
yeah, we touched upon it. For me, it's two things. One is the worthiness. And I see that so much when I work with people. Like some of them, they say, like, I remember working with a woman, she said, like, I tried everything. She had this anxiety, she couldn't even leave the house, and she's tried I don't know how many healers. And in the beginning, the only thing I did for the first whole session, we only worked on her worthiness to receive healing and love and support, and to be free of what she's experiencing. And the next session, she came like, oh, by the way, I went for a bike ride with my family. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like she's been to I don't know how many people. And that's the power of worthiness. And worthiness is very often subconscious. We feel like, of
Mhm.
course I'm worthy. Like I'm a human being, I'm a divine being of light, I'm worthy. And I know from myself, I had that. And only when I dove really deeper and I realized, oh, wait a second, I don't feel worthy of having it all. I can have only part. So that's one of that. And the second missing link, so it's actually two keys. The second one for me is the nervous system. And that's so often overlooked. We have to go back to basics. And you see, what happened here in this little stress release exercise is that people started feeling more relaxed and sleepy because we're finally relaxed. And we cannot be expanded and contracted at the same time. We cannot be in growth and healing and in stress and contraction at the same time. It's just not
Yeah.
possible, physically, emotionally, energetically not possible, right? Either you're expanded or you're contracted. So the nervous system also, that's also download that I received about 3 years ago or something already, they started bringing that through. It's like the amount of light you can hold is determined by your nervous system. And they showed me the nervous system, like being, when it's clogged, it's the first thing that hits, that the light hits, is your nervous system. And when the nervous system is closed because you're contracted, because there's stress, because you feel, pressured, then the light cannot really come in, and it's just blocked. It's only part of the light comes in. And so you can only hold as much light as your nervous system can hold. So that's really an important key to having more grace, having more ease, being connected to our higher guidance, is our nervous system. So coming back to basics again, we're coming back to, focusing, as the whale said, being present, self-care, healing, the worthiness, and all of that, and the spiritual practices. And when our nervous system is relaxed, we can heal, we can flow. There's no reason to be stressed, right? It's connected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. We don't pay that much attention to our nervous system, because when we're in stress or when we're contracted, it's like we want to think about or be more expanded, but we're just dealing with so much stuff that we just don't sometimes have the capacity. I mean, that's a cop out. Sorry, I'm not going to say that we don't have the capacity, but in the moment, all of our systems are being used just to fight whatever that is, right? Just to basically keep our heads above water sometimes, right? Just to survive in that moment. So we can't thrive when we're just barely surviving, right? And so sometimes in that moment, so obviously I felt this many times. That's why I can say this with certainty. In those moments when we're just barely surviving, or we feel like we're barely surviving, it's enough for just it's enough for us just to be able to sometimes make it through the day, right? So forget about holding more light and accessing more light and accessing more guidance, etc. It's like trying to just get our system to function and cooperate at that functioning level for the day is sometimes all we can ask for. So I find this requires a lot of grace and compassion on our part to be gentle with ourselves as well.
Oh yeah, you cannot expand your nervous system if you're not gentle with yourself. You're fighting yourself again. If you're judging yourself, that's all part of it, right? So we cannot judge ourselves for anything. And also for the spiritual practices, for our self-care and all of that, let that come from love. Let it come from flexibility. It's not a rigid thing. Consistency is not being rigid. It's just being consistent. And sometimes for me, I mean, I'm a mom, right? And you know what it's like, and many know what it's like to be a mom. So sometimes for me, that is like 5 minutes in the morning, and sometimes it's an hour, right?
Yeah.
And what you're saying, yes, and the light and getting through the day are one and the same thing. So if your focus can be on regulating your nervous system consistently, that's again, right? Knowing these practices, using these practices, feeling worthy of not having to fight for everything, not having to do it all alone, not having to control, right? That's what we're releasing right now, collectively and individually. And we take care of our nervous system. It does help us to not only barely get through the day, but to get with more ease through the day, a little bit. And sometimes it's just 5% more, and sometimes it's 20% more, and sometimes it's really flowing through the day. And the more we can use these practices, we can learn them, we can apply them, the better it works. And one thing that I love doing is have an accountability partner, right? So for me, it was when the distraction came up, I realized, oh yeah, I'm really distracted. So I called a friend and I said, listen, I'm realizing I'm watching far too many inspirational podcasts. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to come back to me. I want to do my work here. I want to feel good. I want to be here for my son, all of that. I want to be more present. And we just agreed that I would give her feedback from time to time where I'm at. And that alone can help you to not get stuck, because When you try to do everything alone, you're turning in your own patterns and you're barely surviving.
Yeah.
But if you can
That's true.
connect, whether that's through a program, whether that's through a friend, whether that's through a colleague or a group, it doesn't matter. However you do that, it keeps you accountable and it gives you the energy. It gives you knowing that there's people who are there for you, who carry you, that you don't have to do it all alone. It's such a great, such a great energy, such a great place to be. And reminding ourselves always like, I'm fully supported. And
Yeah, and
allowing
that's
ourselves to feel
important to
that.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so key, because we sometimes forget how supported we are, not just from
Mhm.
spirit and guides and angels,
Mm,
etc., but also from the people
everything.
around us as well, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and that's something, sorry, what the whales also said, like, yeah, they're reminding us to connect with people physically again. So not only virtually, right? Because, when something really is happening, probably it's going to be your real friends who are going to be there for you, the physical friends, the ones that you're connecting with. Even if you feel like I don't have soul tribe, people are different from me. We are here to come from the heart. We are here to come from
Mhm.
unity consciousness and to not make a difference like they're not awake, we are.
Yeah.
So sure, don't choose toxic relationships, for sure. No, I'm not
No,
talking about
no, for
that, right? Choose who you're with. But there's
yeah,
so many people that are like-hearted, even if they're not on a spiritual path.
yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much kindness and gentleness and support available for us if we're willing to receive it as well, right? So we have to also be willing to receive the support.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
awesome. All right, so the let's talk about the direct doorway to higher perspective. What is that?
Yeah, exactly. What is that? Well, for me, it's, why I say higher perspective. What comes in is there's our human self. And that's when we get barely through the day because we feel like, oh my gosh, my bank account and my children, and this happened and that happened, and we're overwhelmed, and what's going on in the world. But that's the best, and again with compassion, the best our human mind can do and see. But there is a higher perspective. It's the perspective of our higher self. It's a perspective of our true self. It's a perspective of source spirit, whatever name you want to use, whatever you connect with. And the doorway to the higher perspective, where actually all is well, where actually what if whatever is happening because every soul chose their journey, because this is orchestrated and it's being woven for you, even if right now it looks terrible. What if all is well? And that higher perspective can help you connect with why things are happening. I'll give you an example, and I'll tell you what the doorway is. The doorway is your heart, right? Our heart is where we connect to our higher self, to our true self. So it's seeing things from our true self. And it can be simple things. Like I remember a time when I was homeschooling and I did in Switzerland, back in Switzerland. And it was about getting the permission, because you needed permission where we lived. And they were starting to make me problems. And I got so stressed about that because I really wanted to homeschool my kid and he wanted to homeschool. And so everything was contracting in me, my everything. Like I was so stressed. And what if they don't give it to me? And what should I do? And what can I do? And I'll just go somewhere else and I'll leave the country and I don't know what. Right. I was out of it. And I remembered, and I sat down on the couch, connected to my heart in heart coherence, did some exercise. And then I asked my heart, what is it that I truly want? And the answer came in like this. And it was freedom. I said, oh, it's not about homeschooling. It's not about leaving the country. It's I want freedom. And with that shift, it was this little shift. My whole perspective could shift and I could talk differently to the people. And we easily got that homeschooling permission. Right. So another time now I was in Switzerland and I felt like I'm landlocked and it's like a heavy energy here. And I go back to the sea, again, tuned in. And my heart told me, you're here because there's something to heal that you can heal only here. And that's how it was. And so tuning into that higher perspective, into our true essence, that is actually the fastest way to also moving out of that stress, but also seeing the higher perspective of things that we don't see from our human mind alone, because we can't figure it out. There's a higher wisdom, and it's within, and every one of you have it. Every one of us is a divine being. Every one of us can connect with that, and not always, and sometimes we can't, and that's also okay. Surrender. But the answer will come. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. It's always through the heart, not through our personality or lower mind, right? It's always about going to our heart and asking those questions there. Once we're centered, not when we're like emotionally all like going crazy, but when we're centered in our heart space and ask questions and be willing, again, it always comes down to, again, being willing to receive. And that willing to receive means that you're getting out of your head and just sitting in your heart, allowing yourself to just be and be present, ask the questions, and then receive, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes practice. But it requires trust at the same time as well, right? But that is where you get the answers to everything that you truly need is there within you, and it's through the heart space in connection with your higher self or source, creator, your guides, etc. But that information, that wisdom is there within you, and you can access it at any time. Even sometimes when you feel like, oh, that's just my own voice, or that's just my own thoughts. It may be, but who says that you're not wise, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes your own wisdom is also what's the word I'm looking for, relevant in that moment, right? Or appropriate in that moment. So yeah, I totally agree. Thank you for that. The direct doorway to higher perspective is through your heart, talking with your soul, talking with your higher self the best you can. And, that might seem like a simple thing, but, do it, try it, sit for 10 minutes and just be, and then ask a question of your higher self, soul, etc. and see what you get, right? I love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to take some questions? Because I know people have their hands
Yeah,
raised, and
sure.
I saw some questions in the chat
Sure.
as well.
Sure.
All right, let me see. All right, Linda, you want to unmute?
Sure. Hi, Natasa. How are
Hi,
you?
Linda. Good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
How can I help you?
Only just one really quick question. What do the whales have to say about us being more in touch with the DNA that's been like killed on us? Like that. How do we rewind the DNA so we take on more of the strands rather than the ones that have been whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they're showing me this beautiful DNA with so many strands. It's purely crystalline, beautiful. It's in the ocean and it's expanding. And they're saying like you have it all. And they're also saying be aware that you do not think about it as it's being killed. Watch your words. because killed means it's gone, right?
Right.
In our human experience. And no, nothing to be sorry. Like they're saying that with full compassion, but just making us aware of our thought processes, right? And they're saying it's there and it's happening. Trust that it's happening. It's absolutely evolving. And you're asking like, how can we do that we support that evolution?
Yes.
It's actually what we're already doing. So really there's nothing. And they're also saying trust also in the process, trust in divine timing. And when you raise your vibration consistently, this is happening. It is all happening, and the light codes are coming in, and your DNA, know that your higher self has a part in how you're activating your DNA. So again, something that we don't have to control, but that's, we can support, but it's happening. So to trust it. And they're showing me this beautiful, I mean, I've never seen something like that. This is so beautiful. It's crystalline, beautiful, iridescent light DNA. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I have to say, Linda, have you never attended any of my DNA activation calls?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, they're not dead. They haven't been killed, and they can be activated and continue to awaken or expand as you go. But definitely, the more that you can raise your vibration frequency, the more that you're doing the work, more and more of it becomes activated for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and they're
Thank
saying
you.
it's the frequencies that you're receiving during these activations, which is the same with ocean light language, ocean light codes, is a template for you to adapt to these, right?
Oh.
So you're it's like a frequency template that you're receiving. Your DNA has it all, and it starts remembering when it gets this frequency connection, it starts remembering who you are in truth. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Thank you, both of you.
Awesome. Thank
Blessings.
you. Great question. Thank you. All right, we're going to go. Tanya, you want to unmute?
Yes, yes, I want to unmute. Hello, everyone. Hello,
Hi,
Natasha.
Tanya.
Hello, Lara. Oh, my question is, did I understand you correctly? You just said that when we reach the vibration of that one of that love and light, our codes will be activated by themselves.
Not reach. There's
No,
nothing
I
to
mean,
reach. There's
no,
nowhere
not
to
to
go,
reach.
you know? It's
I
just that,
mean,
yeah.
aligned, whatever. Aligned with
Yeah.
vibration.
So it's an individual process and it's a global process, right? And so, yes, you get me right that things are happening, and you can support them with
Mm,
exposing yourself
mhm,
to high vibration through whether that's DNA activations, whether that's your own work that you're doing, through healing things, right? That are
mhm,
keeping you from vibrating high, because our patterns are subconscious, and so our subconscious rules most of our day, like 80 to 95, or maybe they're now thinking of, okay, how aware are you and blah, blah, blah. But still, it's the most part of your day, right? And so when we heal, we're actually raising vibration. So wherever we raise vibration, choosing people that we want to interact with that are high vibrational, being in nature, all of that is raising our vibration and helps us actually do that work, that we activate our DNA. Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
sorry, just quick.
Yeah.
This else that is about to kind of separate, is it happening, or is it about to happen, or it happened already?
So how do I answer that best? What always comes in as an answer is a lot depends on your belief structure. So if you believe it has, it has. If you believe it is, it is. What is important to me to say is, even if you think of the earth is splitting, and I do see a kind of a splitting, and it's what I see, and it's not right or wrong. Check with your heart always, whoever tells you things. So what I do see is that part of people that will stay in a different vibration, in a different trajectory, in a different timeline. There's limitless timelines, right? But as Earth is evolving, I do see kind of a split. In a way, it's already happened from what I'm seeing. But right now, it's very easy to jump back and forth. And that's maybe also why the whales have been calling us back, right? To hold that frequency and to be back home to who we are, to connect with our hearts and our presence and do what we want and focus back on where our soul really wants to go with us, so that we can stay on that trajectory. And the more the splitting happens, the more difficult it feels to me to, to shift then, right? It takes more work, but you can always change your timeline, always. There's no, it doesn't, nothing is, it's split and now they are there and we are here. And what's important for me to say is it's about bringing everybody who wants to is part of this new earth. There's no us versus them, because then we create separation again. And that's what I feel is a little bit of a danger of that perception of the earth is splitting. So what
Yeah,
I
totally
always
agree.
suggest is have the focus on, okay, we're going new earth, and that's what we're creating, and not
Okay.
focusing on a splitting. Yes.
No. It's just difficult to comprehend. But when you
Yes,
talked
it
about
is.
different timelines, but then when you can jump from one to another, then now it's easier for me to kind of
Yes.
accept it and understand how it works. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Natasha.
You're welcome.
Sorry
And you
for
can imagine
taking
the earth
longer.
also having different timelines, you know? So the earth,
Yeah,
you can imagine, just as we have different timelines, the earth has different timelines. Maybe that helps you, understand
yeah.
it. But yeah, you can always jump.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Alara. Thank you, Natasha.
Awesome.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Tanya. All right, we're going to go to Asha. You want to unmute Asha?
Hello. Hi, Shefali.
Hi.
How are
Hi,
you?
Asha.
Hi, Natasha. How are you?
Thank you. How are you?
I am good. My question is just simply, I was on the call for the entire time, so just listening into like the different frequencies. Specifically for me, is there like any insight you can offer about increasing or raising that frequency?
What frequency are you talking about? Can you tell me that?
Let's see. We were talking about the like the whale, like as you know, as a healer, just as we go on our healing journey, just raising that frequency.
Okay. Okay. What is it that you are doing to raise your frequency?
Like meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I do deep breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Just being still sometimes, right? Just being in calm and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Praying.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Would and self-care, it could be like baths, or it could be like maybe journaling, just taking that quiet time, right, to just de-stress and be in like peace and solace.
Yes. And how do you feel when you do that?
Peaceful.
Yeah. So actually, you're doing everything we talked about almost. So that's the good news, because you said you just jumped in lately. However, yeah, if you want, what I want to tell you is you're doing so much. It's not about needing to do more. Just have that in your awareness, right? What you can do, though, if you wish to try, is like anything that makes you feel light, expanded, joyful. Joy is one of the highest frequencies. Loving, anything. And sometimes we think we need to be so spiritual and to do some special meditations or whatever, but sometimes it can just be, whatever brings you really joy, whatever lights you up. It's such a high frequency. And of course, you can do activations, like I do these ocean light activations, which are also DNA activation. Shefali does DNA activation. So there's many options to go into this high frequency. I don't know if you have time. I usually do an ocean light activation, so you can experience it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Of course, I'll stay for
Yeah.
that. I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you can experience that, for instance. And then when you do things, wherever you experience things, see how you feel. And when you really feel like, sometimes you'll feel buzzing or joyful or so happy and peaceful, then that's what helps you, and do that which brings you joy and brings you in that expansion. Yeah.
I love that advice. There was one thing that you said during the call, which I struggle with, sometimes being able to quickly adjust and find our peace. Like for example, I was experiencing this over the weekend where I was in a blissful state, very peaceful, and then like chaos came upon me, in terms of chaos meaning environmental, maybe like something happened with a person that I'm close with or family member, and it comes my way, and I get sucked in and pulled in, right? And then it kind of shifts my energy, and then it's harder for me to really get back to that peaceful state. So in moments where it's out of our control, how do we snap back quickly into that state of peace and higher frequency?
Have you been here when I did the exercise
Um,
on the call?
oh yes, with the hand on the
Yeah,
head and okay, yep.
you can use that, for instance, right? And do not expect from you to be, always in the same frequency. We're here to experience everything and just acknowledge it, surrender to it. It's okay to feel how you feel. And sometimes it's enough to put our hands on their heart and say like, I'm so, I don't know, stressed, or I'm so worried, or I'm so whatever that is right now. And that's how I feel. And that's how it is, right? And just acknowledge that. And then when you accepted the situation, move on. Are you someone who expects a lot from yourself?
Yes.
Yay, that's what's coming in. So you don't have to be superwoman. You wouldn't be here. You'd be on, what's the name of the other planet? Just joking, but literally, let go of that expectation. You're doing great, okay? And you have so many tools, just use them and be human, and it's okay. We're here. We're all get upset. I do, we all do. Yes. And don't be a perfectionist with yourself. I think that's the main lesson for you. Yeah.
And you're not supposed to be in bliss and peace 24/7, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Like, you have to get that, right? We are here to learn from the experiences, we learn from relationships, all that stuff, and feel everything. We are here to feel and experience from all of our relationships, etc. Because if we were just wanting to have bliss the whole time, we would not be here. So that it's a gosh, my words. It's an unreal expectation or something like that. Like we can't
Unrealistic.
unrealistic expectation. Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's not the purpose of our life. That's not why we're here, right? We're here to experience all these things and learn and grow from them, not just to always feel that peace and bliss, etc. If that was the case, we would not be here. But you are meant to experience moments of and times of, absolutely, but you're also meant to experience the other stuff and learn and grow from that as well. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Just kind of allowing things to be, just not staying in it for too long. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. Don't stay in it for too long, for sure. And don't be so hard on yourself.
I'm working
Don't be
on
so
that,
hard on yourself.
Shefali. I know. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're doing great. You're doing so many different things, and it's great. Just be less hard on yourself. Include
Absolutely.
that as part of your spiritual practice to have more grace for yourself.
That makes sense. Thank you both,
Okay.
Natasha and Shefali.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Asha. That was great. I love it when I can laugh, not at anybody, of course, but just, I just love it when I can uh, laugh, because we are human. Don't forget, right? We are human. We are having these human experiences. Yes, we're divine beings of light, absolutely. But we didn't come here to just be divine beings of light. We came here to have this human experience as well. All right, Sarah, you want to unmute? And Linda, I do see your question in the chat, and I think Annette, I saw your question in the chat too, so I'm going to get to those in a second.
Okay, so I just want to say that after so many years of feeling tortured, kind of, by anxiety and worry and not sleeping, that as I noted in the chat, I just finished making a big cup of tea and spilled it into my laptop, and I am thrilled because it still hasn't made me upset or anxious. It was like, okay, time to put out the money for a new laptop. Let's go for blue this time.
Time for an upgrade is how I like to
Yes.
phrase
Yeah, well,
it.
my
Time for an
computer,
upgrade.
yeah, it would have been nice if my laptop was older and really needed an upgrade. But that's something as I've gotten older, I've just been able to stay calm around things and do the breathing and get back to it. And that is a huge blessing because I was feeling tortured by that. So it's part of the learning process of what we're doing here. And I'm so happy to have made progress. That is not my question. My question is about actually getting into water and feeling vibrations. And I love to swim, and I'm swimming once a week. I also live right by San Francisco Bay. It's 5 minutes away. And I like, okay, so when you get into water, I am assuming that you can do some work on your energy there. And I'm wondering, is there a huge difference between the chlorinated pool at my gym and getting into the bay? And the bay's pretty cold. And, on a hot day, I'll go in there and actually swim, but otherwise, like toes on the beach. And also just say taking a bath or a shower. So I'm wondering if you would comment on the different qualities of energy that we can receive, and maybe a meditation to do while we're in the water to receive.
Yes, beautiful question. I love it. And first, I want to acknowledge you for your shifts and everything. It's so beautiful, and thank you for sharing. So amazing. And
Such
thank
a
you for
relief.
coming up. It's like, wow. And I see this, there's this beautiful, beautiful light in your heart. I just love it. Just need to tell you that. Regarding your question with the waters, there is a huge difference. Yes, there is a huge difference. There's what I call a live water and not a live water. So water in its alive form, which is its natural form, the more natural the better, is highly structured, meaning there's a crystalline coherent structure in the water, how the molecules align. And there's a lot of light in water. Water is actually light and a little bit of molecules. It's like liquid light. And the water that is alive, that is structured, that is activated, is highly healing, beneficial, activating everything for us, because we are water. We are like a molecular count, we're like 99% water. By volume, we're like between 60, 70, depending on the age and so on. So it does make a huge difference. However, I do not want anybody to think that taking a shower is not helpful, that taking a bath isn't worth it, right? Waters are always amazing. And what we can do when we're in the shower or when we're taking a bath is to bless the water, right? So simply thank you and bless you, right? Thank you and bless you for clearing my energy. Thank you and bless you for who you are. Thank you and bless you for giving me the shower and helping me clean myself, whatever that is for you, whatever resonates with you. And that will already shift a lot. And when you are in the ocean, and cold water is actually amazing also for the immune system. If you're healthy, if you can do it, of course, disclaimer, check always that it's safe for you. But if it is, it's amazing. It helps your immune system. It helps your whole body. When I go into cold water right now, I'm going here in Croatia, and the sea is really, I think it's in Celsius, around 15 degrees or 14, 15 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. It's like you don't stay in there for a long time. And it's such a difference on days when I do it, when it's warm enough, when I'm warm enough to do it, and I'm ready to do that. It gives you such an energy boost, and you can feel that light. And I can see that you are very connected to water. So I would guess, is that correct? That you feel the difference, and that's why you asked. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So trust your intuition, trust your heart. You know it exactly. And I would even bet that you could go to the beach and you can talk to the ocean. You can talk to the ocean. You can ask for how you best interact with the ocean. I feel like there's something that wants to come through you for that and for you. You can always do a prayer. You can always, again, bless the ocean. I bless the ocean a lot. I bless the sea, you know. And for me, sometimes it comes in with light language or whatever that is. For you, it's your way, right? You have your unique gift. And it feels like that connection with the water for you is strong. Does that resonate for you?
Yes, I also wanted to say that right in back of this computer, I've got my swirl going to structure my water. And before I had that, I would just take the bottle and just shake it to structure, or put it in the sun. And then I put hydrogen in the water.
Yeah. And you can go, thank you and bless you, thank you and bless you, thank you and bless you. Put it at your heart. It is so strong. Our heart field is the strongest field of our body. Just thank you and bless you and feel the love for the water. You have it, right? And honor it.
One other thing I do in the morning is that I take this oxygen, hydrogen infused water, and I put it in a teapot and I steam it and I inhale it. And then I put my face in cold water until I almost can't stand it. And that feels really good.
Yeah. If it feels good, it's good, right?
Yeah, I'm not putting my whole body in cold water every day, but I am putting my face freezing water every day. And there's also a Jewish ritual that every Sabbath and before you get married, and for women after our menses, that you go to water and you completely immerse and you have nothing between you and the water. So you have to like pick your feet up, and then there's a blessing to say to clear anything that has been before and open you to the new energies coming in.
Yes, this is an amazing practice. I do that a lot, not in the exact words, but asking the water to clear the waters to clear me, and to bring in the new. Yeah, this is beautiful. You know it. Trust your heart. Trust your knowing.
Thank you.
Trust your knowing and do more of it whenever it feels resonant for you.
I've gotten phobic to the cold as I've gotten older, so I do like the warm water at the
That's
gym.
okay. Listen to your body. It's okay. It's great. Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. All right, there are some quick questions in the chat from Linda. She says, are there any suggestions for sending the highest and most benevolent energy to the orcas and their families? They are struggling in the Pacific, and I wish to help them energetically however I can.
Yes, you can drop into your heart and you can send them the highest and most benevolent energy and prayers and love and light, and support them energetically and see if you can connect to them and ask them, like, is there anything I can do? What I do suggest though, and I want to just put our awareness on that, the more we focus on they are struggling, the more we focus on what's going on that we find is not good, the more the energy can flow there as well. So I know it's a really tough thing to do, and it takes a lot of practice, but if you can do that while you're just only focused on seeing them totally healthy, totally alive, totally thriving, having their young, enough food to eat, all of that which you wish for them, and just connect with that vision and just hold that vision, right? That's helping most. Not holding the vision, oh, it's so bad for them, so I have to help them. That's a different way of coming to it, if you know what I mean. I hope it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
makes sense. Awesome. Thank you. Annette had a question, or kind of, she said, I know exactly what to do to move forward, but there's a force in me holding me back from changing. So we talked a little bit about the self-sabotage, remember earlier?
Yeah.
So how can we work with that?
Okay, so there's different roots where the self-sabotage can come from. Usually, if you look at this life, it's conflicting beliefs. So I'll give you an example. You're a healer, you want to grow your business, you know exactly what you need to do, and then you're suddenly not doing it. So what you can ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if I was successful? Oh, I wouldn't have time for my kids. I wouldn't have time for my daily practices. I wouldn't have time to sit by the ocean. Oh, okay. So that's where you're at, right? That's the conflict within. So find what it is within. And the other thing that you can do, the other way where it can come from, and tune in and check that, is sometimes it's something that's passed down in your ancestral line or from other lifetimes coming in. And so then I suggest really see somebody who can help you with this, who can help you release that, because unless you know how to do that yourself, but usually when we try ourselves for really deep things, we're just turning in circles. But you can try, but that's another way where it can come from. And so that's these two. The main thing. And the worthiness again. Are you worthy?
Exactly.
Are you worthy of
Exactly.
having exactly that which you wish, right? That's what I already said, right? That's another one.
Yeah.
That's why we sabotage most of the time. And that's a deep one. It can be it's like many life workers and light workers have it, right? From the fears of persecution and all of that, what that has happened, and whether it happened to us or we're just carrying the imprint. So being worthy and knowing you're worthy of receiving what you want.
Yeah. Randy, did you still have a question? Because I know you had your hand raised a couple of times and bad internet.
Hello.
There you are. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Woo-hoo. Oh boy. I just trying to chat that the quality of the energy in this assimilation is remarkable.
Yeah.
Just for starters. I was really I'm dealing with FQAD, which is nerve damage, DNA damage. I want to get with the orcas. I'm guided to get with the orcas and the dolphins for holographic scanning and telepathic and all four players at once, assimilations, collaborating on my nerves and healing this body and surviving, because it's pretty much an NDE. But here I am, showing up, asking the question. So what can you say about that? About going out and finding them and collaborating on unique healing agendas. Thank you. I love you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Oh, so lovely. Okay. So what I say to that, I say, if that's in your heart, if that's the calling that you're feeling, if that is a dream, if that is something that's pulling you forward, then make it happen. There's nobody who can tell you it's going to be like this or like that. But hearing you talk about the orcas, and let me know, is that a pull? Do you really feel that desire? Do you feel like this is what I want? Maybe you can.
I've been with them. I've been with the Dolphins.
You've been with them. I thought you were asking if you.
I've been wrestling with. In my mind, I wanna like be there playing with them and not overreact. Keep my heart open. That's where I'm at. I've been mentally preparing for this.
Yes. So keep your heart open.
And
go ahead.
Ready to go. I gotta go.
Yeah. If you gotta go, and what you can do is you can always connect through your heart. Connect with them, call upon them, just like you would call upon an angel, and we're all connected. It's part of you. They're part of you. So call upon them and just ask them for what you need. They'll come in. They are here. They really are here for us. Like, all these energies are here for us. So do call upon them, connect with them through your heart, and then just notice, and release how much ever you can. I know it's just easy to say, release attachment to outcome. So allow this to be as is in your highest good, and allow yourself to be guided. And what I love doing is just notice what they show you, notice what they do, notice how they come in, and ask them, do you have a message for me? Can I connect with you? Just ask these questions and allow this answer to come up, and allow your heart, also ask your heart, is that what I truly wish? If that's a deep yearning, be guided by your heart. Always be guided by your heart. That's what I would say. And always check with your heart, check with your inner knowing. Yeah, but you can connect with them always energetically. And maybe when we do the ocean light activation, maybe just notice what comes up for you. Notice what you perceive, notice who comes up, just see what happens. I'm really curious to see what happens for you. Yeah.
So we
I'll
are
do
going to
it.
do the activation in just a minute. I just want to quickly go through the special offer package. I'm just going to share my screen. 1 second. 1 second. So in Natasha's package, we have a 50-minute heart power masterclass and ocean light activation. It's a recording, so it's not live, it's a recording. So Natasha, you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yes, this is a recording. Item 1 is a recording. Item 2 is going to be live. Item 1 is a recording. It's a beautiful recording where the whales came in to support us to open our heart and to connect with our heart power. And it's just very, very high frequency. And they came in with a message as well. So there's also transmission from the whales and the dolphins. Yes, exactly.
Awesome. And then there's the 5-week live sacred journey home to you. So right, home to your power, sovereignty, and soul alignment. So a little bit about this 5-week program. Now this is the live aspect, live component.
Yes, this is the life aspect. And we're going to go actually into everything that we talked about. So there's going to be 5 live activations, ocean light activations, and healing sessions. So we're going to start releasing where you're feeling stuck, start releasing the stressors on a deeper level, much deeper than we did today. And also what's keeping you back from really showing up for yourself, from following through for yourself. So your self-care, your connection to your higher guidance, your path forward, your true calling, all of that. And we will also have, during these live calls, we will have Q&A. So you can, in the end of the calls, you can ask your personal question. And then you get the recordings of all live calls. And we're going to go through like a 5-part process. And number 1 is going to be worthiness. So we're going to release everything that keeps us from feeling worthy to receive the help, the love, the healing, so we can be back in that faith. And then also teaching you how to release stress and stressors. Then we're going to go into the ocean of you, diving deep into the ocean of you is what I call it. So you're going to connect with your higher guidance, with what your soul wants to express through you right now, with your higher vision, with your higher perspective, as we talked about. We're also going to go into sovereignty. That's where we release more programming that's keeping you from really being in your power, taking your power back, so you can really focus and you can be connected with your higher self. And also, teaching you how to clear your energy. So how to keep your energy field clear, and not from a place of, okay, this is negative energy, I'm pushing it away, but from a place of unconditional love. And that's possible. And we'll also move into your next steps. You're going to be guided through a process where you can connect with your heart. So what are your next steps? What is your path forward? And again, clearing what's in the way of taking these steps. And then we're closing with a beautiful closing ceremony. So you're also going to get, in addition to the 5 calls, you're going to get meditations and activations that you can download, and tools and practices to help you really tune into your true essence, release the stress, and gain more resilience, so that you can navigate these times of great uncertainty with more grace, more ease, and more flow, and be connected to that highest expression and your soul calling, and continue your path with far more lightness and joy, as the dolphins are always inviting us into. Yes.
Love it.
And
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's a great course, or a great live program, as well as the masterclass. The recorded masterclass is fantastic. I love it. There's some obviously some testimonials and feedback from people who have worked with Natasha already in the past. And again, let me just go back down, and there's a much fuller bio of Natasha here as well for you to check out. So this package is $244. There is a payment plan available, and of course, if you are an Inner Circle member, please do use your gift code. Again, this is the Heart Power Masterclass and Ocean Light Activation recording, plus the Coming Home to You, which is a 5-week live sacred journey home to your power, sovereignty, and soul alignment in times of great change. So definitely, please do take advantage of it. I think the 5-week program is starting April 22nd, from what I saw.
Yes, it's starting April 22nd. Yes. And
Yes,
it's
I saw
really a
that somewhere.
very, very comprehensive,
Yeah.
beautiful program. Yeah.
So April 22nd, 29th, and then May 6th, 13th, and 20th. So definitely take advantage of it. I think it's going to be an awesome program for you to really start to move into the next evolution of you, right? Which is coming home to you. So I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Natasha.
You're welcome. And just I forgot to say, I said it, I think. So if you cannot join live, there will be recordings, so you can always watch the recording if you miss one live call or something like that. So you're
recordings will be
people
available
usually
for all
ask
of the
that.
live calls. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All
Thank
right, so
you.
now we are going to do the activation.
Yes.
We've been
Yes.
waiting anxiously for it, or anxiously or patiently, but we've been waiting for it. It's
Beautiful.
always high vibe, I find. I always enjoy your activations.
Thank you. Yeah. I love them too, I have to say. It's just so beautiful to have them. So let's just drop into our hearts. You can put your hand on your heart if you wish to. And just connect with your heart space, with your awareness. If that's difficult, just imagine a beautiful wave of pure ocean light coming in and clearing out all the mental clutter. We've been very focused now, listening, just allowing it all to dissolve into light and love, and allowing it to just be cleared from the waters and the ocean light. And then dropping down into your heart space. And just expanding your heart space, expanding your whole energy field, a few feet around your body, whatever feels comfortable. And be aware that I'm just feeling that some people are opening to the front, but not to the back. So be aware to open to the back as well. Yes. And you don't need to do anything if you haven't heard me speak light language before. All you need to do is just be aware and present in your heart. And notice whatever you notice without having to do anything, just allowing. What we do is always in your highest good, in the highest good of all listening, everyone here now live on the recording, each other, and on behalf of all that is. Ariana kotototosh kete ea kokoko. Piu 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 arena. Kai. Kutututututu. Akashikete arana urana katetea. Isakatu arana katetea katea 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 kukusha katetea arana kototototototototo shakatetea. Shakatu, wakatete, arana koshi, akokora, nakatatai, asukututu, kututu, kututu, tutu, 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 tutu. And there's a message for all of us to drop more into joy. Sikoshike, you can allow yourself to be joyful. Even if there's so much going on in your world, Sishura Nakatataya, in the world around you, they're inviting you to release, inviting all of us to release the feeling of I can't be joyful if others are suffering. And they're helping us release that now. And just taking a deep breath in, as if breathing in through your heart and breathing all the way down into your belly. Allowing the air to exit again, as if exiting through your heart. And continue to breathe slowly and relaxed, as if breathing through your heart and all the way down into your belly. Shuakaki akokora natai akoke sakatotora natai nanako. Shuakatera nakototoara na shuakakara nakototoa katara. Pia kokekora nakatetea kokora na shuakatitea shuakatia kokoya nakatataya. Just focusing on your heart. Sikoshera nanara nakatora nakate ranakototoa. Ishua kakea nakote. Isua kakea ranakote. Isukokuya katatataya nakotetea. Chu. Wakaya. Wakaya. Uyaya. 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 Sunana ya Sunana ya Sunana ya Suya ya Suya ya Suya ya Suya Just slowly deepening your breath. Feeling your breath, how it's entering your body. Feeling your body, your belly expand as you're breathing in. Allowing the breath to be deep, slow, and relaxed. Landing in your body. Feeling the support underneath your body. Knowing that you can always come back to this. You can always listen back to the recording. You can connect in other ways. You can connect through your intention. It's okay. And just coming back in the here and now, feeling the support underneath your body, feeling the feet on the ground, or putting them on the ground if they're not, if you can, if that's possible for you. And just feeling your body, feel the sensations. Maybe it's warmth or relaxation or tingling. Whatever there is, accepting it as it is right now. Maybe it's buzzing. Taking that with you. And taking one more deep breath in. And exhaling. If you need to, if you feel you're not really in your body before you open your eyes, then just hug yourself for a moment. Touch yourself, hug yourself, maybe stretch a little bit, move a little bit. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Ooh, that was a really beautiful, strong activation. Short and sweet.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely felt it was filled with so much joy energy. And as at the same time, I kept getting the message of peace and bliss and peace and bliss and just be an allowance, right? So just allow yourself to just be. So which was lovely. Instead of being in your head and thinking, just being, right? And just being in that space and being in that energy and frequency with the whales and the dolphins and just all those light codes, the ocean codes. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. So lovely and such a beautiful flow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're welcome. It was also they were also bringing in some. I'm just wondering if somebody got pyramids, just let me know, please, because they were showing me pyramids in the water. So if anyone did, just let me know. And yeah, it was full of joy. There were like different kinds of whales. There were dolphins. There were other beings of light. Yeah, it was very much joy was really the main frequency that wanted to come through for all of us, and allowing ourselves
Yeah.
to be in lightness. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely felt that. Um, Cindy says, thank you so much for the beautiful activation. I saw a very bright sun come through. Nice.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, I
Thank
didn't see pyramids, to be honest, but I mean, now I just feel like I could take a nap. I could definitely just take a nap, and nice and relaxed and calm and peaceful. I could just take a nap, which is
Isn't that
sometimes what I need.
beautiful? Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, beautiful energy. And of course, go back and you can go back and do it again. God, my throat
Yes,
suddenly
they can do it
goes.
again. Just be aware, please, that you drink enough pure water after these activations. It was short, but they're really, really powerful. So don't underestimate that. Drink enough water, ground yourself, and listen to your guidance as to how much you're listening back, so you're not spaced out. So you don't fall off the stairs, you don't stab yourself or anything. Like cut
Exactly.
yourself, I mean, when you're cooking or whatever. It's happened to some people. So not after my activations, but I know other light workers who are bringing through these light codes
Yeah.
and who had these
I'm
experiences.
still feeling a lot of energy behind the head, behind the neck, for sure. Still a lot of energy there.
Yeah, they also
Yeah.
brought in healing energy. It was a connection of both. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. There was, yeah, and sometimes when we are receiving all these high vibration frequency light codes, etc., sometimes our mind, our words don't flow as freely as we would like, right? Sometimes we can't get the right word and everything. So that's been happening to me for sure. It's like I can't think of the right words. Like that, it's nothing. It's not coming, but that's okay. It'll pass. So just recognize that also could be just a symptom of, higher vibration frequency light codes coming in, and the body needing a little bit more time to adapt and adjust to them, right?
Yes, completely. And also you can sometimes it helps to eat something grounding, you know.
Yeah.
Something that you feel you can eat, whether that's a piece of chocolate or whether that's oatmeal that's grounding, or whether it's, I don't know, root vegetables, they're grounding, or whatever you feel called to, but it can help just a little bit to come back into the body.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. No, that was awesome. I loved it. The whole conversation, the whole call was awesome. So much wisdom. I loved it. And I always love talking to and about the whales and dolphins. It's like I feel I have a strong connection with them as
Yes.
well. So I also feel like they don't come in as often, but they do come in from time to time. And for me, it's always the dolphins. For me, it's always about joy and lightness and playfulness. And then the whales, it's always about deep wisdom, deep archaic wisdom. And not archaic is not the right word, but deep galactic wisdom that comes through from the whales. So we just have to be willing to receive, right? And allowing ourselves to be worthy also of receiving. So it's a big piece. So thank you. That was beautiful. I loved it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, everyone, please do take advantage of the package so you can work with Natasha in the 5-week live program. I think it's going to be amazing. Plus also the recording of the masterclass is going to be awesome. So definitely, if you can, please do take advantage of that. And of course, I will have the recording of this out shortly in a little while. So go back and watch and listen again and do the activation again, or receive from the activation again. And I would suggest, when you're receiving from the activation, I would suggest lying down. Because, I think that's what I want. Whenever I receive activations, I like it when I'm lying down, because then I can really, I'm more ease, and just allow myself to flow with it. So lie down, receive, and then see how you feel, right? So it was awesome. Thank you, Natasha. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No, thank you. That's the only thing that came through for you, if you want to hear. When you
Sure.
were talking about your connection to the ocean, what they showed me is is the message that came in is free your heart. They're helping you to free your heart. And it came like, it's interesting. It came like from the back and then opening to the front, and just like allow yourself to, like, you know, be connected to your inner child, to like be joyful, to, you know, like that's, and it's like, it feels as if it's a process and they're really here with you. So you do, this connection is really showing up for you through your
Yeah.
heart space, like opening it up and just going like,
Yeah.
wow, I can fly again, I
Beautiful.
can
Thank
soar
you.
again. You're welcome.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ah,
welcome.
yes. You know, and you know, like we all can open our hearts a little bit more, right? We can let our light shine a little bit more. We can let our love shine, or love flow a little bit more, not just to others and everyone else around us, but also to ourselves, right? And so
Exactly.
always please also include yourself when you are sending healing or light, love, etc. Also send to yourself, because you are also worthy of receiving, right? So just a little reminder.
Mm.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you so
All
much
right,
for having
everyone.
me.
We'll be back tomorrow, but at 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Okay, so we'll see you earlier tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern. So thank you, Natasha. Of course, we always love having you, and we'll definitely have to have you back on again, because I don't know, there's just something about the whales and the dolphins and your energy that it just lights me up, and you know, makes me feel so much ease and peace at the same time. You know, so
Well,
thank you.
thank you. It was beautiful
All right,
connecting
everyone.
with you all.
I know, right? It's so much fun. And when I think of you, Natasha, I don't know why I don't want to end the call yet, but when I think of you, I always think of the ocean. And it's like, oh, she's by the ocean. Oh, I want to be by the ocean too. So that beautiful connection. So thank you for that. Allowing me to experience that. And thank you, everybody, for all your questions, comments in the chat, and great questions today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate all of you. So until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings. Bye for now.
Bye.